Thank you for calling the Apostolic Full of Ourselves Word of the Pentecostal Church of God in Christ of the Assembled Brethren. You have reached the Prophetess-elect First Lady. How may I route your reverent request? Hi, is Terry there? I was hoping he could pray with me if that's possible. I'm going to give you one more opportunity to rephrase that question, because here at AFOWP CGICAB, we incorporate 20% of the grace message. So who is the honorable vessel of uninterrupted revelation you would like to address? Oh, sorry. I've been dealing with so much right now. Is Brother Terry in? When you call this holy hotline, you will address the anointed, appointed, fivefold, oil-soaked prelate of perpetual promotion as Bishop, Apostle, Master Prophet, Reverend Doctor, but never, and I repeat never, by the name his mama gave him.
If you were raised in religion, you probably encountered someone who got so caught up in a title that they lost touch with reality. Now, don't misunderstand me. I give honor to whom honor is due. I have friends who have earned doctorates. They had long nights doing research. Their sweat, their tears, their sacrifice went into writing their thesis and into getting their degree. I honor that. I have friends who are bishops, true bishops, not the kind someone offered to me once for $100. True story. But the kind of bishops who humbly wear the title, but the title doesn't wear them. There's a big difference. I've seen ministers that the moment you slap a title in front of their name, their walk changes, their tone changes, their resume gets bigger, their humility gets smaller, and all of a sudden they have 3 armor bearers that go with them everywhere they go, and if you don't address them by their title, they throw a tizzy. I want us to rethink religion for just a moment. Here's the question I want us to ask. Do we seek to achieve a title, or do we study to be a servant? In the mid to the late 80s, our family, we traveled and sang all over the world. We were in more than 200 different churches every year. I was around the movers and the shakers of that generation, grateful for it. We were on the largest faith-based TV network at that time, and I remember there was this one major conference we did every year, and it was kind of funny. One particular year we went, everyone had become a doctor. I mean, it didn't matter if they went to school, wrote a thesis, or even knew what a thesis was. If you could fog a mirror and preach in 3 different keys, you were a doctor. And then that lasted about 10 years until Bishop T.D. Jakes hit the scene. And then overnight, everybody became a bishop. I mean, you couldn't swing a tambourine without hitting 3 bishops and an overseer. But during the doctor season, my dad, gospel singer, songwriter, he started kind of feeling left out because everybody in his circle, in our circle, they had this fancy title. And he thought, well, man, if I want to be important, I might need a title. So one day, joking, he tried to get my mom to call him by a certain title, and it really didn't go the way he was hoping it was going to go. And I am so grateful that a few years before I laid them to rest, they allowed me to record them reenacting that moment when my dad tried to get my mom to call him a certain title.
I just found the secret to a successful marriage.
Oh, I want to hear it.
Well, I was reading in the Bible today. I saw something I'd never seen, and it was Sarah and Abraham. Of course, we know they're the father and mother of faith. And
right.
Read that right there.
Sarah called him Lord. What are you saying? You want me to call you Lord?
Well. I'm just saying, that's what they did, and don't you think we should copy them?
When we get 90 years old like Sarah, and you get me pregnant, I'll call you Lord. But until then, your name is Laverne. And don't you forget it.
I miss them. I really do. They were fun and real. Now, I'm not saying to stop calling your pastor, or to stop honoring leaders. The takeaway I want us to get from this is Jesus said something about the Pharisees, who were the most religious group of his day. He said they loved to be called rabbi. In other words, they loved titles. They sought for titles. Even in Jesus' day, religious people believed that to be important, to feel recognized, to feel elevated, you needed a title. You needed something in front of your name. But Jesus, he never demanded a title. He washed feet, touched lepers, allowed children to climb up in his lap, and he never said, "Now you must call me most holy, high, executive Messiah." He said, "Follow me." And when we follow him, the need for titles, accolades, applause gently fades. You stop needing to be the served, and you begin enjoying being the servant. Jesus was approachable. He was present. He was in the moment. Let's make sure we are too. You can either climb for a title or you can kneel with a towel.